swing on it.
You are now watching Soca Vibes Sports Podcast.
Ready to get it done. She got the wine down to the yard far. So cock it up and put your head by your knee. Never.
Good afternoon, Soca Vibes and Sports family. It's your boy Mello. I'm here with my co-host JP and with my other co-host Starboy, aka Jordan. Welcome to episode 2 of Soca Vibes and Sports. Just want to say, fellas, how are you guys doing today?
Taking it one day at a time. Feeling good today. Actually, Sundays are the best, man.
Sundays are definitely the best. Starboy, talk to us, man. What's going on?
Sunday's chill day, but I'm still the news that happened last night, man. It's crazy.
Talking about the news last night, man, fellas, fill me in. What's going on, man? Talk. Tell the audience what's going on.
So pretty much everybody's geeked out about this trade, which rightfully so. The Mavericks and the Lakers agreed on a deal to send Anthony Davis to the Mavs and Luka Doncic, their star player, to the Lakers. Now, in this trade, I feel like one team has definitely been fleeced. And the team I think has been fleeced is probably the Mavericks, taking on an aging veteran who's also a star, but I don't know if I would do it. Starboy?
I don't know if I would do that either. When you just look at it, one player's 31, one player's 26. One player's getting ready to head into the prime of his career. One player's getting ready to go towards the tail end of his career. And when you look at it, they fleeced the Lakers because they got shooters. Maxi Kleber, they got better players plus Luka, and they only got one first-round pick.
Right.
Fellas, man, I don't understand. Why do guys get traded in the middle of the night? Kid you not, last night I was on the phone with my boy JP. Me and JP were just chopping it up, just having our usual boy conversation. Then afterwards, I told JP, yo, JP, man, have a good night. So went to sleep, as usual. I woke up around 7:30 this morning. I look, I see Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis tweeting, trending on Twitter. I'm like, well, X, they call it X now.
X, yeah.
I said, they're trending on X, and I look, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, this is probably a mock trade. Then when I look on other people's posts, Shams, Adam Schefter's, you name it, any news reporter out there, sports reporter, they all said, this trade is real. Luka Doncic has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, a 2029 first round pick, and Max Christie. And I couldn't believe it.
Right.
I could not believe it.
It almost seemed.
Go ahead.
It almost seemed fake, like fake news almost.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
And I'm be honest with you, I really thought that Luka was going to be a Mav for life, man, a Maverick for life.
Agreed.
And
I agree.
To see this transpire last night, it goes to show you, bro. It doesn't matter if it's the NBA, the NFL, the MLB. Business is business, man. There's no such thing as loyalty when it comes to the game of sports.
Agreed. So slightly transition. I want to know you guys' sound of the week. Like what you guys been what's been in y'all ear, man? What y'all been listening to on the way home or at work or whatever it might be?
Well, what can I tell you, man? It's carnival season coming up, man. Definitely shout out to Trinidad. To anybody that's heading to Trinidad not Trinidad and Tobago, but just Trinidad. I hope that you guys enjoy Carnival. For me, one of the hits that I've been listening to is by Patrice Roberts. It's called Escape.
Okay.
Escape. Definitely if you have time, go on YouTube, SoundCloud, you name it. That's been a tune of mine. If you don't mind, I would definitely just share just a snippet of the song.
Hit me.
Well, it's called Great Escape. So excuse me for that. It's called Great Escape. Alrighty.
Everybody ready now. Security can hold me back. Cause we can't get enough. It's up for the big stage. We making a big wave.
So yeah, that's what I've been listening to this week.
Okay.
For me, I've been listening to Control by Malik Berry. I've loved that song for a while now. That song, it has a great Caribbean vibe to it. I love that song.
So you wanna make love to the best guy?
Yeah,
Ah,
that's
yeah,
my thing right there.
that cut. See, I've been listening to a lot of Diverse, the guy who also is our intro.
Hmm.
That's always a cut right there. So or kudos to Diverse. Shout out Diverse, man.
Shout
Big
out.
shout out to Diverse, man. If it wasn't for you, bro, yo,
Yeah,
this show would not been a banger. I tell you.
Big up, big up, big up. But okay, to transition to our next topic, should ladies receive equal compensation? How do you guys feel about that? I'm gonna start with Cam Mello.
Oh man, not you throwing me under the bus this soon, my brother. Should ladies get equal compensation? Oh, whoo! Should ladies get equal compensation? So, ladies, just a disclaimer: I'm coming from a place of love. Should you guys get equal compensation? I feel like you guys should get equal compensation to a certain degree, depending on the field of labor. You get what I mean? I feel like there's certain jobs that are just strictly meant for men, and there are jobs that are meant for women, and there are some jobs that are meant for men and women. But I feel like if a woman decide, hey, I'm gonna use construction for example, they want to become a construction worker. I don't think that they could endure that type of physical labor. I don't think that they could endure the physical aspect of it. And you know, I don't want to sound biased, but ladies tend to complain a lot. You get what I mean? So especially if they do the type of work, or let's just say if it's too much for them, or if they're a pretty girl, they don't want to get their hands dirty or whatnot. I feel like it's going to be an issue. So I just feel like it all depends on the type of job that they're doing, and if it makes sense, then yes. But if you know for a fact it's definitely something that's definitely out of the norm, then nah, I do not agree with it whatsoever.
Okay, Starboy.
Um, to piggyback off what Cam said, when it comes to ladies getting equal compensation, I think they should get equal compensation. Like if you're having a job where it's for a man and a woman, if they're both qualified for the job, then they should get equal compensation. I get that, ladies are, with some jobs, they're not as physically fit as a man when it comes to like, if you're doing construction and it comes to heavy labor, like lifting 100 plus pounds. But, there are some ladies stronger than men. So it's just in the terms of like, they should get equal compensation because if they're putting in work, like from my personal experience, I've seen females work harder than men like when they at a job and it's like they're getting paid less than a guy to do the job that the guy should be doing. So when it comes to just getting equal conversation, I think like times have changed. It's not just women are just not sitting back anymore. There's no such thing as a woman just sitting back not doing anything. Just there's not really the stereotype of like there's no more housewives really like that. Every woman is getting it on their own, and they're doing a good job at you know their own thing. Shout out to women empowerment. Like I said, this is all from a place of love. Yes, they should get equal conversation, but at the same times, that are jobs that are meant for both. Like it can't be something where is a job specifically meant for a man, and then the ladies want equal compensation because we can't tell a lady like I know you guys probably see this where in Hollywood where some lady female actresses want same as the actors. Well, if this is a 20-year actor, a 20-year veteran, you're not going to get 1 million or more dollars than he's getting because you're new. Like you have to, it's called labor, and we see in the Hollywood business where ladies are getting treated unfairly, like Taraji P Henson, other ladies like Monique, about getting equal compensation.
Blackballed essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
So my personal opinion on this, I'd say I believe that women should receive equal compensation due to the fact that I was raised with my mother, and I've seen her struggles like coming up. And also, I did a stint in the oil field, and I've actually seen women work better than men in some situations, whether it's operating heavy machinery or just getting their hands dirty with shovels and just doing what they got to do to feed the fam. So that's a good one. And I think that conversation can carry on for light years, but we ready to transition. So here's the next one. Will Smith presenting at the Grammys. Now this one I seen your eyes. This one is more of a surprise. I just kind of threw this into the shuffle because it just hit my phone and it was like breaking news, like following that Luka Doncic situation, you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
2025, I'll say is coming in with a bang. So as far as Will Smith presented at the Grammys, for me, I say, everybody deserves a second chance, but I
Mhm.
think you should definitely have a couple security guards on hand just in case, what I'm saying, he want to go rogue or, saying get out his body a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I just keep people on standby. Um, Mello, your thoughts on this?
Oh wow! I'll be honest with you. I would never thought to see Will Smith back at the Grammys. Especially that incident that happened. If you know, you know. But just like you said, JP, everyone in life deserves a second chance. I definitely will give him a second chance, but this time make sure that you take extra precautions at the Grammys, making sure that a part two does not occur. And I just hope that whatever that Will Smith present tonight, I hope that he deliver a banger and redeem the heart of the people.
Hey, you, Starboy?
Um, I'm surprised. I think everybody does deserve a second chance, but I just feel like that first incident was staged. So it just seemed like, too much happened where I know there's always security at any big event. And there wasn't no security in the vicinity when the situation occurred. And if you know what happened. So it's like, with this coming out, I think now Will Smith is put in a situation where that won't happen again because, like, we saw the downfall after that situation. There was people saying, oh, especially from the woman's side, oh, he should protect his woman, he should protect his woman. And then all the things that came out after, that situation occurred. So I just think like now that, I'm happy that he's presenting at the Grammys because he's Will Smith and he deserves it. But at the same time, it's like I just think the first situation was staged and that this is just a way for Will Smith to get back in everybody's good graces.
Okay. So what I'll say is the you that he should protect his woman thing. I want you to hold on to that statement right there because I
Hmm.
got a question following up on that. But what I will say is I don't know if it was necessarily staged for the simple fact that like when Buddy said, "You need to keep my wife's name out your mouth," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He proceeds to walk up. I'm assuming that like everybody was like, "Oh, he might be walking up for the award or whatever."
Hmm.
But I think by the time he got within like 10 more steps, you could peep the body language wasn't like what I'm saying. Let me accept this award.
Hmm.
Right. It was
I
very tense for sure.
feel very tense. So I feel like on Chris Rock's behalf, I feel like Chris Rock should have read the room a little bit.
Hmm.
I don't think he should have just like, stood there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that like, you gotta match violence with violence, but I feel like in certain situations, as a man, you should always read the room and kind of look around and say, okay, maybe he's not coming up to shake a hand and give me
Hmm.
a hug or whatever the case might be. But the follow up question was, like, how do you feel like us men should protect our women? Like, how do you feel like do you think we should do a better job or do you think? Oh, go ahead.
I know exactly where you're going, this Papo. As a married man for 3 years now, I've been with my lady for 5. I'll tell you this much, man. And I don't want to sound biased or anything. In
Hmm.
public, you have to protect your woman at all costs. You get what I mean?
Hmm.
Even if they do something wrong, you just gotta, no matter what, be there to, definitely be there to defend them. Okay. Behind closed doors, that's where you do all the corrections, all the all the adjustments, all the hey, I don't think what you did today was pretty sensible. You get what I mean? I just felt like just like you said, JP, you definitely got to read the room. That's number one. Number two, I advise no man. I repeat, do not embarrass your woman in public whatsoever. Definitely learn how to you know govern things and handle things in a different manner. Whatever out in the public, stay in the public, but whatever that's done private stays privately.
Hmm.
That's just my take on it.
Okay, and Starboy.
My take on it, just to piggyback again off Cam, is like I believe yes, you should protect your woman at all costs, but it's certain scenarios where you have to know what kind of girl you're dealing with already offhand.
Mhm.
So it's like, you know, to be put in those situations, like of course we as men where women don't see the value in terms of like, okay, if we're going on a date, you as a woman, you're not thinking about, your safety, because if somebody was to come up and try you, you believe that your man would defend you. So you're not per se say thinking about, okay, like you're just thinking you're going to go on a date, you're going to have a good time, you're going to enjoy yourself. But as a man, we have to think about, okay, if we're on a date, we have to check our surroundings. We have to make sure that, if you at a certain place, checking your surrounding, make sure that there's nobody like a coming of a threat, because, at most times, even if you go to a restaurant, or, when you're walking your lady, if we're walking inside a restaurant, you make sure that she's on the opposite side where cars aren't coming. So, just trying to keep your lady safe at the same time, it's like, you, of course, if there's a situation that does happen in public, do not, go crazy in public. Correct it behind closed door, because as a man, if you do it in public, that's only going to cause the woman to react and make her like say something in public. And women tend to lead off emotion, so they're going to end up saying something they don't mean, where it's going to put you in a situation. And with this generation, it's all going to lead to clicks and videos, and your relationship is going to become public now, which a lot of people, it's like it's not good.
Yeah, because once the camera phones come out, man, it's
Mhm.
lights, camera, action.
Exactly.
You got to perform now.
Hmm.
But I say for me, how I would protect my woman is more so like I think we
Hmm.
protect each other in a sense, and that's not always in a physical sense. I'm speaking
Of
more
course.
so kinda like we we make sure each other is talked about in a certain light. We make sure not to bring up a moment that was shared behind closed doors or a problem. We don't go out to outside sources, venting to everybody and their mama, because
Hmm.
what I realize is your friends, they love you, right?
Hmm.
They love you. They don't necessarily love who you dating. So, they're always going to side with you, and they might forgive you, but they're never going to forgive the person that you interact with. So I think that's another way of protecting your partner in a sense. And that's a good topic. Will Smith took us to a different space, y'all boys. So here's the next topic.
You folded moment. All right. So,
Moment.
so I would like to give insight of what this segment is about. You
Yeah.
folded moment mean talk about any experience. Doesn't matter if you men or women, black, white, doesn't matter. Talk about moments where like for a fact, like, oh my God, you're not supposed to do this. Like you were not supposed to say this nor do this in the first place. So I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna take a jab at it. You
Mm.
folded moment, I would say when you texting a female, right? And the female say, hey, like, hey, I'm about to hit the shower. 99.999% of the time, guys will fold in the situation.
Hmm.
Okay. What do I mean about folding in the situation? They will say something that they're not supposed to say. Meaning, prime example, dang, without me though, that's an instant way to get blocked, cut off. Like, yo, especially if Shawty was trying to give you the benefit of a doubt and you said something like that, forget about it. So
It's a little aggressive if
you're
you don't
very aggressive,
if you know the situation that
not demure, not mindful.
Hmm.
right.
So I
Which
say, JP.
that word canceled. But
Yeah.
I'll say a you folded moment for me. One time I got a phone call, and the phone call was more so, hey, come through. This is in my younger years to clarify things. So the whole come through, you know what I'm saying? We could hang out, catch a vibe, da 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 da. So I'm on the way. Have my homie drop me off, you know what I'm saying? Because at this time I ain't have no vehicle at this time. Young buck.
Right.
Hmm.
Get to Shorty crib. She opens the door or whatever. She's hanging out with her sister. I have a homie upstairs. I didn't even know he was coming. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a solo mission, right?
Right.
So I got the homie upstairs. So I'm like, hey, what you doing over here? You know what I'm saying? It's good to see you, whatever, whatever. So, he tell me to play. Like, he's trying to get to the sister, whatever. He's talking to the sister.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, about an hour in of us was just like hanging out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's gonna turn into a two man. But it gets to the point where like we hear the door unlocking. So like, whoa, 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 whoa. Who is that? So Shorty checks the little ring camera or whatever. And she's like, oh, it's my dad, da 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 da. So, at this point,
Mhm.
she got me and the homie in the closet. When you a little on edge, you don't know your surrounding, you're a little nervous. So we in the closet. I'm like, damn, like we gonna have to get up out of here. You feel me? Homie farting in the closet. It's going bad. So dad comes, he's like, whose shoes are these at the front door? I'm just like, oh gosh, don't tell me you left your shoes at the front door. I look down, he don't got no shoes on, but just socks. So I'm like, damn, bro. It gets to the point where like we make an executive decision to, just break downstairs and haul ass, right? But I already had made the phone call while I was in the closet, telling the other homie who dropped me off to come scoop me up, right? Dad is like, y'all got a minute to come out or I'm finna grab the strap. So at this point, you know, we had to make an executive decision. Book it downstairs. Mind you, granted, the homie, it was like a casual homie. I didn't see him all the time. It was a every blue moon homie. So I didn't actually know how fast he was. You feel me? I'm hauling ass down the street, dad chasing us. Next thing homie pulls up at the right time. We get in the car, book it. But that's a you folded moment because technically we left with nothing, and technically we didn't enjoy our night. It was just the whole vibes and plans was off. I didn't expect to see the homie there. And the homie I'm talking about, he hopefully he views this and he sees what's going on. But yeah, you Starboy.
Man, when it comes to euphoric moments, man, I would say I had a lot of them, man. Like growing up, because like when you're young and when you starting to get older, especially in a Caribbean household, early on I didn't have all the shoes.
Mm,
So when you get older and you become a grown man, you see the difference from when you were a kid in high school to where now you're a grown man. So for me, the youth folded moments where it was like when I became an adult, and it's like, all right, I didn't really know how to talk to women at that point in time. So it's
mm,
like, all women are different. Some women want you to take the lead. Some women want you to be aggressive in terms of like speaking wise or just like communication. Like, for example, like I did a situation with this girl where we used to work together, and this was a couple years ago, and where the situation was where like I was just being a nice guy, like I was just being a nice, like just being who I am, and that's not what she wanted. Like she wanted somebody that take control and that was to like not taking no for an answer. But I didn't know that because it's like if I don't know the woman, like I don't know how to lead. If I don't know you, then I don't know what do you like. You get what I'm saying? But now, like being an adult is different because when you see certain types of women, like if a woman you already know if she's giving you a good vibe, then you already know where the situation can lead to. Like, but it was just like for me, it was a bunch of youth folding moments where it was just like, like how did I like the door, like I had the shot and then I missed the shot, like it was just a bunch of those for me, man.
mm.
Well, well, Jordan, I'm gonna tell you this though, man. I
Mhm.
was once in your shoes many, many years ago. I kid you not. You know, no, no, real talk, JP. You laughed it. You
You ain't
know,
so you about 35, 40.
well, I cannot let the ops know about my age now, Papo. I'm kidding. I don't got no ops. I don't got no ops. Okay, just a disclaimer. No, but on a serious note, I know how you feel. It's like then you're trying to read the room. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to say too much. If you do too much, and then Charlie's gonna look at you like a whole weirdo,
Mhm.
or or whatnot. And I just realized, man, the female's mind is more complicated than what we think it is, man.
Mhm.
Mm,
Definitely more complicated. I would definitely say this: always be yourself. Always be yourself. Never try to be someone that you're not.
agreed. That brings me to thinking, right? You ever lay in the bed with the female, right? And in your mind, you thinking like, what am I gonna eat for tomorrow. And then in her mind, she's like, why is he so distant?
Hmm.
He's not holding me the same that he was holding me, last night. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you like we are very simplistic, you
Hmm.
know, and compared to females. So that just gave me that thought right there. But to
Very.
transition into the next topic, is comparison a thief of joy?
Mm.
I choose JP to start off this conversation.
Okay. So I think comparison definitely is a thief of joy, especially when you see social media, everybody showing their
Hmm.
greatest highlights. That's pretty much all it is. They're showing their greatest highlights, what they might have accomplished, what they might have did, which is no problem with that. But I think to kind of live in a reality where you assume that that's all that person has going on is kind of crazy because in reality, everybody has their own struggles, and what
Hmm.
more money comes more responsibility. So I think we shouldn't always, look at what the Joneses have and just kind of focus on your yard. You know what I'm saying? Water your grass. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my personal opinion on that. I'll pass it to you, Mello.
Oh, okay. Well, back and forth, back and forth. Is comparison the thief of joy? I truly believe so. I'm be honest with you, I am a victim of it. I fall into that sometimes. Sometimes when you on social media, especially with people that you went to school with, or like, successful individuals, and you just seeing them like, damn, dog, like, you know, such and such is big time now. They got a whole car, a nice luxury place, and or how to say they probably got their degrees sooner. They graduated from like that institution, or how to say they're pretty much in their in their respective career field. Probably something that I wanted to do, but I was never fortunate enough to make it there just yet. And I just feel like sometimes we kind of get caught up in the moment, and not really enjoy our own process. You get what I mean? I feel like we all have our own race. I feel like sometimes as people we tend to sprint rather than enjoy the marathon. You get what I mean? And it just sucks sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, could this be preventable? Absolutely. And the only way I feel like this could be preventable is just focusing on your own race, focusing on what's around you, and has to what you can control. That's pretty much it.
Okay, Starboy.
For me, this is like comparison is a thief of joy. It takes away everything because, just like you said earlier, JP, like when you look at social media, it gives you good things and it has bad is downfalls. So when you're seeing like basically social media showing everybody mixtape reel, all it shows is the mixtape reel, but it doesn't show the downfalls, the stuff that happened. People passing away in their family or things like that. So when you look at everybody on social media, especially people that you look up to, they're already successful. So you didn't see what the groundwork took. And because you didn't see what the groundwork took, it's like, okay, I want the instant success. Like I want the microwave success or the one night success. So because you have it, and then it's also relationships. It's like, you know, everybody wants their relationship to be on social media now. So now you're comparing your relationship to another person's relationship. It's like everybody, the quick term, shout out to J. Cole, but the quick term was everybody wanted to be like uh Jada Smith,
So,
Jada Pickett, and Will, but now you seeing it's not what it was meant to be
mm,
because you're comparing yourself to another person. And it's like, we do that sometimes as men, and the same thing as Melo saying is when you're seeing people from school that are maybe married now, and it's like, okay, I want that because it's like, you know, but maybe it's not your time yet. Like, instead of taking it at our own pace, we're trying to go and a race and rush for it when we're not letting life come to us. We're trying to go get life and trying to make it happen right away when that's not how it's supposed to be. Everybody's life is different. We all go through different journeys. So, you're comparing yourself to somebody else, but you don't know what it took to get them there. Not everybody has the same lifestyle. So, some people are working harder than others. So it just when I see certain people do something, I'm happy for them. Like it just makes me want to get on the ball, work harder, like just do things. Like it inspires me. But with our generation, because we are in the social media generation, the trips and everything, is comparison is the biggest thief of joy.
Right, right. And what I'll say to piggyback on both of you guys is decision making and circumstance plays a large factor
Oh
in
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
not everybody has the same dynamic and family dynamic, or even the wherewith or understanding on what's going on. Like whenever I see homeless people, right?
Mhm.
I never look at them from the standpoint of, oh, he just wants $1 so he could go get a drink. I always look at it from the standpoint of like, maybe this guy made a couple bad decisions, but it affected his today, and how can he alter that and push towards his next goal? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what your goal might be might not always be my goal. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like my goal tomorrow might be just to breathe tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Rather than somebody else's goal might be to make $1 million. So everybody is at a different standard and a different place in their life due to circumstance and decision.
And I say also too, there's another thing I want to add on to this. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. As us being Haitians, I low-key felt like, Haitians really started this comparison. Like, if
Mhm.
Haitians would say, I'm gonna translate for the viewers after. They would say, oh, petit such and such, petit chacha, c'est un docteur, c'est un
Mm,
avocat. It's like,
Mhm.
damn. I'm like, damn, I'm your kid. Like, I don't care what, you know,
yeah,
such
what
and
they
such,
do in their yard.
yeah, what they got going on. You get what I mean? And
Hmm.
I feel like, I feel like what I'm doing what makes me happy. Such and such is doing what makes them happy.
Happy, yeah.
And I think once when the adults get together and when they start bragging about their kid, and
Mhm.
there are some people, some adults, especially in the Caribbean culture, where their self-esteem is so low. It's like, dang, like you're making me feel bad, that
Mhm.
type of thing. And they look at you, when I mean you, I'm talking about as the child, like, dang, you could have done better with yourself. Like,
Mhm.
look at such and such. Such and such got good grades. She's a lawyer. She has a car. She has this. She has that. But it's like, dang, I'm doing the best. I'm doing the best what I can for me. Why can't Why can't you just accept that for me? You get what I mean? It doesn't have to be. I don't have to go down the same route such and such went through. You get what I mean? Such and such already had their plan, and if that's the route that they want to go, by all means, let them be. But
Let that
you
be.
know, especially as parents, man. It doesn't matter if you're Caribbean, not Caribbean. We need to stop that comparison. You feel me? Like, you gotta learn to kind of embrace, uplift your child, uplift your kids, man. Help them. If you want, if just help them be in the best situation possible. You don't
Right.
gotta look at such and such. I mean, I would understand if you're not doing nothing for yourself, then hey, I mean, I could see where the comparison comes from, but at the same time, too, can't do that. No, you really can't do that. Because later on down the line, what I realized, there are some people, they end up being successful, but they pretty much forget they pretty much forget where they come from. You get what I mean?
Right.
And you look back and it's like, dang, that's crazy. You were just speaking highly of such and such, but yet such and such doesn't even take care of their mom, take care of their dad.
Mhm.
They just selfish. I just feel like sometimes they don't look at the other aspects.
Yeah. It's a
Uh,
one-sided thing.
Very one-sided.
Yeah. I think that's also like because we were talking about the Caribbean household, right? But I think
Mhm.
that plays a large factor in the African American community as well.
Oh, big
Like
time.
you ever notice like before like your homie or something or African American guy, you know, gets money, like they'll try to like buy a chain or a car before they like invest it into something. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's just like I think it's really it falls back into like you don't know what you don't know.
Mhm.
So these are all learned behaviors that trickle down. So now that you're a father, Mello, and who knows what the future holds for me and you, Starboy, we have to be the ones to break the cycle because we are the new adults.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Of
So
course.
to transition into the next topic, 3 core values to keep a happy relationship. Now, I'm gonna start with either one of y'all. Who wants to go first on this one? Because you know, I feel like I'm still growing as an individual. And okay, there we go.
For
Volunteer
me,
speak.
I feel like the three core values to keep a happy relationship: you need loyalty, you need
Ooh.
respect, and you need love. Three core values for me, because it's like, in a relationship, like if you guys can't respect each other, like one of my biggest thing is like, no matter what girl I'm, what women may be talking to, I never disrespect them. I never call them out their name or anything like that. I will always remain respectful. Even though you may disrespect me, I'm not going to disrespect you, because I know where that can lead. And
Mhm.
then with love in a relationship, it's like, if you're not loving one another and you're not trying to make each other better, then it's like it's no point in being in a relationship. Like, and then we see how when it comes to loyalty, we see how, you know, loyalty is more than money. Like if somebody remains loyal to me, I'm cool with that more than them providing money for me, because in this day and time, it's hard to find a girl or guy that's loyal to you no matter what, because some people love you for a season,
Mhm.
whether it may be a season where financially you're doing amazing this season, so that season they love you, but when it's not that, then that love is not there no more. So I just feel like, if you have those three core values, that our relationships can last.
Okay, okay. So I'll piggyback on that, and I'll say my three values would be patience, communication, and
Ooh.
selflessness. And the reason I started off with patience is because um, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to meet a lot of impatient people, and I personally had to take a year to learn patience myself. Like I heard this thing that D Wade said, and it was like sometimes you got to enjoy the traffic.
Mm.
And by that, like, let's say somebody cuts you off or whatever the case might be, you know what I'm saying? We all gotta go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We all gotta get somewhere.
Hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? If I just you got it, bro. You got it. It's nothing is ever as big as it seems.
Right.
So if my partner is patient with me, it also comes with understanding, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that we can, actually grow from being patient with each other. Because not every season, like you said, is gonna be peaches and rainbows, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because
For
goals
sure.
are set in relationships. So as far as communication is concerned, I think at least like 10 minutes worth of conversation or more a night, you know what I'm saying, just so y'all on the same page for the week, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a part of a healthy relationship, and it allows you to actually go further than what you normally would if y'all are just going on dates and just having small talk, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that is a bad thing, but yeah, my third would be selflessness, because I think when you act and you just express your love for somebody, and is out of like the kindness of your own heart, it doesn't take no effort to put a smile on somebody else's face, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And I think in return that energy gets brought right back to you if you're dealing with the right person. Mellow.
Awesome. Well, I guess best for last, right?
uh,
Oh, my three. My three. Effective communication. I said there's communication, but there's effective communication.
mm,
Effective communication is like you gotta make sure that the message is pretty much relayed properly. And in today's age, we live in an era where it's not about what you say, but it's how you say things. So it's like you want to be sure that you're coming from a place of love, like there's no type of bitterment or like any type of resentment. Just making sure that you and your partner, can communicate effectively. Just make sure that each other, like you both are able to get your points across with no problem, and making sure that you know no one's feeling no one's feeling is better than the other. That's what I mean about effective communication. Um, Number two, tidiness. Tidiness in terms like making sure that you create a clean environment. A clean environment just so for all of us could you know stay as one. Okay, I probably didn't make no sense with the second one, but that is my interpretation of it. And my last one is goal driven. I feel
okay.
like when two people are like goal are like oriented, bro, man, the sky's the limit, bro. You know, you know, you ever heard that saying, two incomes is better than one? That's how I feel like. That's how I feel like when it comes to the goals. I feel like with the goals, man, and especially if you and your partner are going after it, bro, man, we're bound to be successful.
Right.
So
You ain't lying.
yeah, so,
Especially when inflation hitting like it's hitting now.
woo,
Mm,
hello.
Exactly.
we
But
gonna
I don't
need.
think people want a happy relationship though.
Mhm.
I
You
don't think
see,
people want it because of the communication.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta understand, like, and Cam, you know this better than me and both me and JP because you're married. But in a happy relationship, there aren't as many arguments. So how can you go months or weeks without dealing with any problems?
you're right.
Where there's communication, but you're not like dealing with arguments or dealing with drama. Everybody biggest term is, oh, I want a toxic relationship. Something
yeah,
that's toxic can kill you. Like, so you're saying you want something toxic, and I believe words have power. So
Yes.
you're saying something that you want something that's toxic, but that could lead to you not being here anymore. So I just don't think, certainly, like, from both the men and the women side, because of how relationships are now, where to find somebody faithful is a miracle now,
Oh yeah.
because majority of them are, if you have somebody that's faithful, people that are already faithful are already in a relationship, or they may have gotten a relationship to the point where they're hurt and they don't want to get back in one right now.
You're right.
So it's just like, saying a happy relationship, you know, I don't a lot of people don't want that.
So all right, Jordan. So I have a question, right? A part two a part two to what you just said. When it comes to a happy relationship, who who does it benefit more, the men or women, or both?
mm,
I think it benefits both, but I would say it probably benefits the man more. Only because, like, for us, when we find a girl that loves us for us, we're cool. Like, we're so simple. Like,
Mm,
we're not asking for a lot. So for us, we're so simple because men, we're not drama driven.
you're right.
So it's like, for us, once we got that love and we got all of that down to a point where we're in a great relationship and she loves us for us, obviously, you can change different things out in life. Like, there's certain things you can change. But if
Mm,
a girl loves you for you, then you're good. But when it comes to the female aspect, of that side, it's like, for them, a lot of females don't know how to be in a relationship without drama,
mm,
without arguments.
mm,
Because I've heard personally from females, if you're not in it, and if you're in a relationship, if there's no arguments, then you shouldn't be in a relationship. I've heard that personally, and it's like,
yeah.
no,
I've
And
heard.
that's
that's
not.
scary. Nah, that shit is scary.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
That is scary. It's like, what do you mean? Like, if there's no arguments, I feel like there's peace. And I thought,
exactly.
the common goal is peace in this whole situation.
They
But
say, that song. It say it take two to make a thing go right.
yep,
Yeah.
Man, that's what
exactly.
African learned. And I've heard that too before, Jordan, where they'll say, if we don't argue, like, are we, what I'm saying, less than, or is our like relationship not like a relationship? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've also seen where it's a lot of the younger females, I think, due to the fact, like, the dynamic with the Caribbean household thing we
Mhm.
were talking about.
Mm,
All these are learned behaviors and traits. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you see your parents argue every day, right?
right. That's the norm.
That's
Mhm.
the norm. So if your lady come home and everything, she quiet, everything cool, you gonna be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Mhm.
Well, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna find a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I think it's just one of those things. Now, this next topic, I know it's
Wait,
gonna
I have a
invigorate.
special, wait, JP. Before you continue, so I have a special guest that want to say something real quick.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay. So I said she's in the background, but
But the goal is not to argue every day. That's not the goal. That's not the goal. But arguing in a relationship is healthy. Don't argue every day. I'm not saying, oh, yeah, I got to go at it every day. That don't make no sense. But arguing, first of all, you guys are two different people. You're always going to be two different people. You're going to have your own opinion. You're going to have your own decision. You're going to have something that y'all don't agree with. sometimes you have to go at it to get to a common ground to understand what each other wants and what each other needs. It's not the fuss. It's not the fuss every day, but okay, I feel this way about something, and you feel this way about something. Okay, let's talk about it. We probably still not gonna agree with each other, but we're gonna respect each other's decision and opinion and come to a common ground with each other. I'm arguing to understand you, arguing to understand me, and we're arguing to fix a problem together, come to a conclusion together, not to I just want to tear you down or I want you to tear me down. It's not that.
Right.
So
See, because
if you don't argue with somebody and you just agree with them, eventually you're gonna get fed up or you're gonna hold some resentment. It's nothing is perfect in this world. Even a relationship is not perfect. A marriage is not perfect. You can't just walk around and be like, oh, no, it don't bother me. Or she does don't bother me. You're human. We're all human. We get frustrated. We get mad. We get overwhelmed. We have those are natural feelings for a human. If you say, oh, nothing bothers me, and you just try not to fight and walk on eggshells, you're not being authentically yourself. And eventually it's going to explode because you keep bottling and bottling up, you're going to explode. So no, do not. I'm not asking to fight with you every day. I'm not asking for us to go at each other's neck every day because then that's unhealthy and toxic, which that's not an environment that I don't want to be in. Or I don't think somebody else want to be in. But having your own mind, having your own thoughts and feelings, yeah, sometimes you're going to get to arguing. Sometimes you're going to get on each other's nerves, but you come to common ground. That's what the whole fight and trying to understand is about.
okay, and I actually respect that opinion. What I will say too is, what you said at like towards the middle of your statement, where y'all kind of like under y'all you arguing to understand each other, that makes more sense. But I don't think everybody argues like that. So I think that's a good that's a good thought
Counter.
process. That's yeah, that's a good opinion, because not everybody argues the same. So if you guys are having a back, I call it banter. If you guys are having back and forth banter, you know what I'm saying? That's totally fine. Hey, I want to eat here tonight. Hey, I want to eat here tonight. Why don't you want to eat here tonight? Because I don't like this about that place. Okay, let's meet in the middle. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
one. But if we're arguing about like something that like I do that makes you mad, and you I'm bringing up something that you do that makes me mad, and then we're taking like jabs at each other, then that's when it can become toxic, because we're not no longer arguing to understand, we're arguing to like
Prove a
just
point.
hurt each other, yeah, and prove a point.
Mhm. And
Well, we
that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to know your partner and you have to, it's about who you're with, you know? Like, you have to know your partner. I'm not saying that every girl thinks like me or every girl thinks, okay, we're arguing to get to a common ground. I'm not saying that. There are some girls out there that thrives in toxic. Like, they think toxic is the good thing. There are some girls out there like that. But
Mhm.
that's where it comes to who you pick for yourself, you know, and you have to determine like, okay, is this girl really, for my peace, or is she just here to drive me crazy? And
Right,
that's where you decide, hey, I don't think this is going to work.
right. I totally get that. And I appreciate the fact that we got a guest star and we got an actual woman's opinion on
No,
the matter. You know what I'm saying? Because now I feel like our viewers can, hear a different perspective rather than just having the male perspective. And Soca fam, we will be having guest stars on this show, to kind of have like counter arguments and counter opinions. You know what I'm saying? A little back and forth banter, like I like to call it. So yeah, we appreciate that, Vicky.
Welcome, you guys.
appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Um,
I didn't know y'all didn't know each other, but that's cool. See,
yeah,
look, the
small world.
internet ways of bringing people together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, but the transition into our next topic, and this one is one of those topics I know we're we're anticipating, you know, some some uh some odds being thrown out there. We're anticipating some
Feedback.
predictions, some feedback, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because these last couple weeks, you know what I'm saying, we've been talking about AFC and NFC, deals, you know what I'm saying, and what's been going on, and who we thought would be a dark horse and who we thought would be likely to, have a certain type of performance. So this topic is concerning the Super Bowl,
Woo!
Can't
the
wait.
big
Best holiday of the year, I tell you.
Yes,
The
yes, yes.
biggest bowl, man.
Everybody have off right on this day.
Yep.
So okay, my first question on this matter, right,
Mhm.
is what do you guys like to eat while celebrating or watching the Super Bowl? Like what is like a dish or a meal that you guys enjoy?
I definitely go down the American route, man. Just give me like, at least 2 boxes of pizza, some soda. If I'm in the mood to drink, I get me like a little bottle of tequila, and just make sure I have my sippy sip, and
Okay,
just pretty
that's
much
what
enjoy
you
the
doing.
game. And yeah, and I do have a rule where during football season, this football season period, from preseason all the way to the Super Bowl, don't bother me. Please don't bother. Let me sit down, enjoy the game in peace.
I
Then,
respect.
then once when the game is done, hey, free for all. You get
I'm
what I
all
mean? Free for all.
Exactly.
Hold on.
So yeah,
Let me shut my door real quick because it's so crazy. All day it was a silent, peaceful day,
mm,
and I live behind a dog park,
mm,
so all I hear is this dang dog
right.
barking in my ear, and it's crazy because I'm telling you, all day it was quiet.
Mm, yeah.
So hold
So
on,
so I said, Jordan, man, in terms for your Super Bowl, what do you like to do? What do you do to prepare for the Super
Uh,
Bowl?
so for me, prepare, you gotta go to the store. So first thing we're going to do is get some chicken, some chips. More so finger food like pizza, stuff like that. Like even though I'm into healthy eating, but like for the Super Bowl, I'm gonna be eating like bad. So you know because you gotta have the finger food. Like I feel like it's like the same thing with you. Like while I'm watching the game, don't bother me. I don't want any distractions. Like I don't want to have to make food or something like that. I just want something that's right there, like drinks right there. So like preparing, looking at the like I would say the Super Bowl is kind of different than of course, it's different than any other NFL game. It's more so like before other games, like I watch like the pregame to a certain extent, but with the Super Bowl, I'm watching everything, like to see how when the players come out, see the interviews and all that. Like for me, like that whole day is like book. Like don't bother me. Like I don't want to be bothered the whole day. Like that day is like uh, it's like a holiday for me.
I
Like
get that.
I'm going all in on that day.
I get that. So for me, I think I'm more like I want to have like chicken on the grill or maybe some ribs or something,
Hmm.
chips, maybe who knows a charcuterie board or whatever the case might be. What I'm saying, those always hit. What I'm saying, on that day. Um, but I'm curious to know, who do y'all have winning the Super Bowl?
Whew.
Eagles, man. Eagles all day, baby.
Wow.
Going for the Eagles, man.
Okay,
It's like when you look at the two styles of football, you take KC and you take the Eagles. I don't think KC has, and I know people are going to say the Niners, but the way the defense for the Eagles is physical, like they're going to make KC work for anything that they're going to get. And don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Like he's been there, he's done it. At this point, the Super Bowl is routine to him. It's not like something that he has to like, get prepared for. He already knows it's just another game to him, like another day in the office.
right, right.
But my biggest thing is if you cannot stop 2-6, it's just like the same thing we said about when we did the NFC. If you cannot stop 2-6, the game will be over. And I don't think any running back that Casey has played, and I know there's a stat going around that Casey has played over 20 something running backs, and over a good 90% they held under 100 yards.
Hmm.
But I don't think none of them were better than Saquon, if I'm being real with you.
I agree. I agree. And
So
go ahead.
exactly. So I'm just saying Saquon's a little bit different because even though you're stopping the run physically, he's still eligible for in a pass game. Like you still have to worry about him in a pass game. So and once Saquon catches the ball with a head of steam, it's hard to tackle him. Like no, you're gonna need like multiple people to tackle him. And if the game starts off, if Saquon breaks out for a touchdown in the first quarter, the game is gonna be over.
Okay, okay.
It's
And
gonna be over.
my question is, to you, Starboy, is Saquon a 5 yard per carry back, like on average? Do you know that?
Yes,
If
he averages more. I believe he averaged almost 7 yards to carry this season.
Mm. So because I was having a conversation with a coworker at work. Shout out L. Um, he's a Kansas City Chief fan, right?
Hmm.
And he brought up a interesting topic, and he was saying how the defensive adjustments that the Kansas City Chiefs make on regular are always on par. And I forgot the coach's name. What is it? What is the defense coordinator's name for KC?
Facts.
Spagnolia. So Spags, he dials up the right plays at the right time. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I just feel like, I'm undecided with who I have winning the Super Bowl for that simple reason. Because like I'm a Saquon believer, but I'm also a believer in Spags because this man, he schemes it up at the right time.
Hmm.
Always seems like he don't miss when with his schemes. And I'm curious to know if he's gonna come out with a heavy box, or is he gonna, keep everything in front of him, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of like play field position and let Patrick Mahomes kind of, take charge. Like how I'm curious to know what he has schemed up. So, Mello, what about you?
I believe in three things, guys: death, taxes, and Patrick motherfucking Mahomes. Okay. Um, Listen, man, it's just I'm sorry to say it. Despite that one loss that he had in the Super Bowl against Brady, that was in the past, but felt like in all three of his Super Bowl appearances, he fought like he rallied his team back, and he brought them into victory. So I still feel like it's still won't be the same thing. It's definitely gonna be a close affair. Um, I felt like from a defensive standpoint for the Chief, I want to let Jalen Hurts beat me. I don't want to let Saquon beat me. I want to see if Jalen Hurts have the cojones to lead his team into victory. Because if you really think about it, right? If you look at quarterback, you ever heard that saying, or how I say it, that thing goes, in order for in order for like certain teams to win, it takes like a special player.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If you look at the Chief, you need Mahomes. If you look at the Bills, you need Allen. If you look at the Bengals, you need Burrow. More of the story, you need quarterbacks to lead you to the promised land.
Okay.
If
Right.
you look at the Eagles team, bro, I kid you not, you will hear anything else besides Jalen Hurts. They'll either say their defense, their coach, or 2-6, Saquon Barkley. So I do feel like Spag's going to do his thing to limit Saquon to under 100 yards rushing. I'm a firm believer in that. I don't think Saquon's going to rush over 100 in the Super Bowl. And I just felt like it's going to be up to Hurts. It'll be up to Hurts to see if he can really lead his team to the promised land.
I don't
And
think that's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea just to say that, like, because okay, when you think about it, like in terms of like this, right?
uh-huh,
So you have Saquon, you have Jalen Hurts.
right,
Both are gonna run the ball on the Super Bowl.
right,
Jalen's gonna do some read options. He's gonna do some design runs. And the problem that the Kansas City Chiefs are gonna run into when they play the team like the San Francisco 49ers, let's take the 49ers, which is my team. Shout
okay,
out to them. But in both games, they were up by double by at least one score. The
right.
problem is that they got away from the run. I don't. The Eagles have showed all year they're consistent to the run, no matter what. So if the Eagles are ahead in the game,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna go again with the run. See, the problem, the difference is that no one has done what Saquon has done this season. I believe he's had like 7 or 8 touchdowns for at least 60 plus yards this season.
That's correct. Yeah, about
Like
seven. About
once
7.
he get to the second level,
You
if there
gone.
is, he's gone. Like you're not gonna catch him once he gets to the second level. And my problem is if you put a heavy box, you're leaving AJ Brown one on one, and you're
Mm,
gonna have to put McDuffie on him.
mm.
AJ Brown is a
That's what's gonna happen.
receiver.
Just to let you know, guys, that's what's gonna happen. McDuffie, because I feel like Spags is gonna load up the box and
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
force Jalen to beat him, and McDuffie is gonna be on the outside trying to disrupt whatever AJ Brown has going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Hmm.
just curious to know, like, as far as the passing and him reading the field, that's what I'm scared about with Hurts. Can he actually read the field and go through his progressions? Because he got the best offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, I feel like Chris Jones can also be a deciding factor because now when I watch football, I look at the trenches more so than everything that's going around.
Mhm.
And so I learned that from uh Omar Kelly.
Hmm.
He's a beat writer for the Miami Dolphins. And he was saying how he read a book on if you watch the trenches, you know what I'm saying, it'll tell you a lot about the football game and how it will be decided. So yeah, I think that's gonna be a interesting, interesting chess back and forth chess game going on between two organizations. But our last topic of the day, but not least, back on this. You go ahead. We back on this.
May.
Now, this topic right here, I'm curious to know, has opinions changed or has opinions swayed? Like, where are you guys when it comes to this dang on Jimmy Butler situation? You notice I didn't even capitalize his name because I'm just a little salty. So I'm go ahead.
For me, um, my has him my opinion on the Jimmy Butler situation hasn't changed at all. It's still free Jimmy. I felt like when he was returning back from his suspension, I just felt like they decided to be salty. Salty saying that we decided to suspend him because he was late to a team flight. Really, really, okay. And as soon as he come back to shoot around, you wanna hit the poker card saying Haywood Highsmith will be starting over Jimmy Butler. Haywood Highsmith, okay. I, I thought that you guys are trying to get rid of him. Why not start Jimmy, huh? Why not get some value for Jimmy? Now you're doing all this. Now I said the value for Jimmy is diminishing by the second. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'll be honest with you. This is like I feel like they're adults. Govern yourself like adults. If the quote unquote star player is unhappy in the situation, trade him away. Trade him away. Like, bro, bro, Luca got traded before Jimmy Butler's situation.
Right, right. You
And
didn't
this
see?
Jimmy Butler situation been going on since like December. You get what I
Okay.
mean? So I don't know, man. It's still free Jimmy. I just felt like they just need to part ways at this point before it gets ugly. Like I said, my hot take is, if he does, when he does, not if, but when he does end up in a Phoenix Sun uniform, he will win a championship. He will make Pat Riley, eat his words for not paying him.
Okay. Starboy?
Free Jimmy, man. All day, every day, man. Free Jimmy. And the Heat, I'm just gonna say this, JP, and I know this might hurt like your feelings as far as because you're a Heat fan. The Heat are dumb. They're dumb. The organization is not smart at all. When you think about this, okay, so you have multiple instances that occurred. You have a situation where Jimmy goes on his media, goes on the media after a game, and he says, he's not gonna get his joy back for playing basketball under the Heat organization. Okay, so you suspend Jimmy for being contract non-interventional. You suspend him, he comes back. He's
Mhm.
late to a team flight, which he's taken private charters before when you guys were winning, but it was cool then. You suspend him again. And now, mind you, both times when you brought Jimmy back, he was starting when he came back. So now he shows up to shoot around, and you tell him Highsmith is going to be starting over me. Well, then at this point, I'm going home. I would have did the same exact thing. I'm going home because at this point, what's the point? Like you're at this point, you're doing anything to get Jimmy upset, and it's like you're diminishing his value. You're not like no matter how great a star is, you're never gonna get exactly what you need in terms of value because now the only thing that he could get is picks. You're not gonna get the same type of caliber of player, and all they're gonna get is picks. Now you're diminishing the value from Jimmy. You just took away $20 million from Jimmy, which I think he's gonna get back from the league. But now other teams are able to come to the picture. Now the Warriors are back in the mix because now Jimmy's contract next year is only worth 32 million instead of 52. So it's like, I just don't see the benefit of this. It's like a child. If you have a child and they're getting bad grades and Every time they get the bad report card, mom, dad, report card, and you giving them rewarding with money and candy, and then when the last time where it's like you decide this is the final straw that they're still getting bad grades and you decide to not reward them, well, it's like, well, you were doing the rewarding before and now you're not. And it's just like this, JP. I feel like this, right? If you're in an organization where the organization is making millions to billions of dollars every year, if you're not doing anything to enhance the organization, then just give me my money. Because
Hello.
at the
Okay.
end of the day, there's not the Heat are not signing anybody that's we're like, oh my God, the Heat just signed this person. So at the end of the day, they're going for the undrafted guys. So if you're not, and the undrafted guys don't make a lot of money. So at the end of the day, if you're not doing anything, give him the money. Yes, I know the way Jimmy went about things. He could have handled them better. He could have been, but at the same time, we all know who Jimmy is. Once you agitate Jimmy, he's gonna show his true colors. And his showing his true colors is acting the way he do. And in terms of that, I know this is, it's messing up team morale, is doing everything that's not good for the team because Jimmy is supposed to be the leader. But also, what does this show you if you're Tyler Hero? What does this show you if you're another player? Because Jimmy has done everything right by the Heat. When D Wade left, we didn't think that the Heat would be in a finals appearance anytime soon.
No time soon.
So I'm just thinking like, okay, he's back, got you to the finals twice. He's got you to Eastern Conference Finals 3 to 4 times, and yet you guys just, don't want to reward that. Yes, you already paid Jimmy. I understand that, but at this point, it's like, you're not getting anybody. You're Nobody's getting any. Jimmy's getting older, so either pay. Look, you got to think about it. Look at the contracts now. Even Joe Smos are making 30 plus 40 million.
Hmm.
They're making those much money. So if I'm Jimmy, pay me. Better pay that man.
Okay. So I have a question for you boys. When you see Jimmy Butler shoot, where are most of the shots coming from? Is it
Mid
coming
range.
mid range, right?
Yeah, mid range. Yeah.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So, the other day, Jimmy's playing in the game, right?
Okay.
And we all know Jimmy Butler is an amazing player. I love Jimmy myself.
Good.
But if your primary shot is the mid-range shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the game plan. And if I have you on the floor, it's to help the team, right? When
Mm-hmm.
does it become about the team rather than about the player? You know what I'm saying? I get that you did a service to us, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we can always count what happened yesterday. Now, what I want to get at is Jimmy Butler shoots mid-range shots, right?
Right.
Yep.
Game I'm watching the other day, this man decides every chance he gets to pass the ball, right? Even if he had a wide open shot, he would pass the ball. Even if he's in that mid-range spot, he passed the ball. Up until the fourth quarter, he has the ball in the corner and decides to take a one-legged three. When have we ever seen Jimmy take a one-legged three?
Never.
Never.
So now you're hurting the team. So if you want to be petty as an organization, why can't I show you how petty we can get? You know, so we got to protect our brand as well. You know what I'm saying? Even though we see you got your own agenda, you coming on the court, you wearing other shoe colors and stuff. That's not a part of the team. That's a thing now. You doing all this stuff to get attention to yourself with your hair and this extra stuff. When does it become strictly about basketball? You know what I'm saying? And if you want your full money, it's not about what you did yesterday. And I get you performed when it was time to perform, but it's what you do today. Because like the analogy I used last week was if you go to a job, you know what I'm saying, they're not paying you for what you did a week or two ago or even a year ago.
Right.
They're paying you for what you're doing now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like I'm standing firm on this Pat Riley rock right here. And I'll even take it another step forward. Um, Jimmy Butler asked a year or two ago, bring me another star, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring me the star. Pat Riley wants Damian Lillard. We want Drew Holiday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, both organizations that we were in communication with, they wanted to take too much of our young assets. You know what I'm saying? That we weren't willing to give up.
Mm.
So now they're playing hardball and trying to lowball us on elite star players, and we were trying to give them equal compensation for whatever they was about to give us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And with that said, the Dame deal did not fall through, nor did the Drew Holiday deal fall through.
Mm.
So he's trying his best to get you a star. You just have to hang on. But the way Jimmy's working, he's working impatiently where he wants his money right now. Like I said, give me my money. He wants it right now. It's my money and I need it now type deal.
Mm.
But when you think about it, do you think Shaq is better than Jimmy Butler?
Absolutely not.
You don't think Shaq is better than Jimmy Butler?
In a Heat
Wait.
jersey, or are you talking about career wise?
It's just career wise.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Career wise, yes. Of
Yes.
course. It's not it's no
Okay.
brainer.
Okay, so now that we got that out the way, Shaq took less money to bring in some of the great superstars and great players that we had, like James Posey and them guys. You know what I'm
Jason
saying?
Williams. Yeah, I
And
remember.
Anthony
Yeah.
Walker and them boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what makes you, the guy who didn't win us anything, so special to where we have to always be on hand and knee for you when we're trying to look out for the best interests of our organization?
Well, I have an answer for that. Shaq had a supporting cast. D Wade and Shaq, they had a nice supporting cast.
Yep.
Jimmy Butler's working with less. Besides, name me somebody on that Heat roster right now that was a former All Star, or I say that used to be the guy on their
Bam,
former team.
Bam,
All right, Bam is one. Who else?
and now we got Tyler.
That's it.
But that's still a supporting cast. Nonetheless, you gotta understand that, like, if you're a star player, you're
Mhm.
supposed to be the guy. You're supposed to turn water into wine. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
want that type of money, you got to show us that you're worth that type of money. You already got that contract. That contract that we gave you last time was for what happened in the bubble in those finals appearances. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what are you doing now? Am I paying you 52 to miss 26 plus games? Am I paying you that much money to, get us there and ultimately, fall short? You know what I'm saying? And then if I pay you that type of money, it lessens our odds of even getting to that point, because now everything is on the backbone of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So are you really wanting to hoop for real and try to get us there, or are you just trying to like focus on your financial gain? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And now we're willing to take less for him because we're just trying to get him off the roster at this point.
Get off the books.
Mm-hmm.
Get him off the books. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we're talking to like, I guess the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking to like all these other teams, but we need something fair because we're not gonna get off our young center,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't see us getting off of Bam or Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, maybe we could throw Terry in that package. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we could throw Hawkes in that package. Josh Richardson in that package. You know what I'm saying? A draft pick. You know what I'm saying? That's all great compensation for this aging superstar. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's true, but I just don't see it in terms of like, okay, yes, Jamie is an aging superstar. He's closer to the end of his career than the beginning. But the thing is with the situation is you're saying, okay, I get the situation where you're saying like, Shaq, D Wade, they all took less money. Cool. But if he's gonna take less money, there has to be players. Where are the players? Yes,
They they come
most teams have two stars on their team.
right.
Jimmy's a star on the Heat, and Bam is like a budding star. He's a
I,
star, but Bam chooses when he wants to be a star or not.
I say Tyler over Bam though.
Exactly. But in the playoffs, it showed that Jimmy is the best player. The problem I feel like with Jimmy is the biggest mistake Jimmy made was he should never came out publicly and said that he takes the regular season lightly
Right.
because it goes into your contract. Regular season and playoffs plays a part in that contract. So when you just say I'm cruising through the regular season, then it's like the Heat has things to say, like they have evidence to say, okay,
Legs.
we're not going to pay you, or this is the evidence why we're not going to pay you. Okay, you're going to miss 30 games in the regular season. Well, we're not going to pay you for 82 games. We're going to pay you for 52 games, and that's what the money is. But at the
Right.
end of the day, it's just the term is like, okay, if you don't want if you don't want Jimmy no more, get rid of Jimmy. But the biggest problem is you're diminishing Jimmy's value, which is causing teams not to want Jimmy. And you're not gonna get back market value what Jimmy is worth. So it's like it's the situation is so bad. Like just like what Melo said, Luke was already gone.
Mhm.
So it's like, what kind of star are you going to get for Jimmy? You're not going to get a young player for Jimmy that's somebody that's in their 25s. You're not going to get the Heat. They're not going to let the Heat get like that. Like the Heat will have to fleece somebody, and I don't think anybody else is that dumb to really just give them Jimmy Butler to know that the same situation could happen in their organization.
I'll say this. I feel like Jimmy is messing up his own value with one-legged threes and lowering his point total, you know what I'm saying, just because he's disgruntled.
Mhm,
You're not gonna make the Phoenix Suns want you more
mhm,
when you're shooting one-legged threes and you're averaging like 5 to 10 points a game. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? It almost gives off the image that you're washed, which we know he's not washed, but it's just like, it gives off that impression like, if he's disgruntled with us, you know what I'm saying, who's to say that he doesn't try to like affect our winning, ways with that type of behavior. So, I
Yeah,
mean, this is one of those topics that can go on for light years, you know what I'm saying, eons and eons.
yeah.
But, you know, any anything else you guys would like to, add on or share, throughout these topics that we talked about today, before
Man,
we get out of
I
here?
I mean, I still want to talk about this Luca thing, man. We don't have to go deep into details about it, but moving forward, guys, you know, do like will we ever see something like this where like a prime superstar get traded for like an older superstar?
No.
I think this is some underhand dealing. Like, I think
Yes.
this was somebody
Yeah.
owed somebody a favor, it
Yeah.
seems.
Because from what I've heard, and I don't know if you guys heard this also, but what I basically heard was that the Lakers were disgruntled with Anthony Davis when he came out publicly and said that we need a center so he could go back to playing to the four position.
Right.
And
Power.
Right.
then also, with the simple fact of the matter is like LeBron didn't know about it because it was
Mm,
just the same like you said, JP. It was somebody from the Dallas Mavericks that made a call to the Lakers and was just like, "Hey, if you guys are willing to give us AD, we'll give you Luca." And the Lakers like, "Oh, wait, are you serious?
right.
Are you sure? Okay, let's make this trade right now," because it shocked everybody. I don't think nobody saw this trade coming. That's
Mm-mm.
why it was so much of a shock because it's like they just went to the finals.
Right.
Yes.
They just went to the finals, and we thought Dallas had just found their guy. They just found their next Dirk for the
Right.
next 15 to 20 years, and now he's gone. And the problem that the Mavericks are going to run into is that 80's 31, Kyrie's in his 30s. In the next couple of years, you're going to have to look for another player
The guy.
because I can tell you this: then every time you play Luca, oh,
Oh,
he's
Luka
going to
dropping
give you
50.
that work.
50. Luka dropping
Anytime
50.
he's gonna play the Mavericks from now on, he's gonna give you that work. And I understand they were talking about, some of the
Wait.
decisions that his weight, his conditioning, how he ate, because the GM came out and saying that defense wins championships.
Mhm.
I get that. But at the same time, that's a generational talent. Both Luca and AD are generational talent, but AD is towards the end of his career. Like we're saying, what after another 4 to 5 years, AD is done. Luca
Yeah.
will still be playing.
Right. 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 Yeah. This still didn't make much sense to me, and I mean, for the being now,
Mhm.
I feel like I'm still curious why trade in division like that, like in conference. You know what I'm saying? Like why
Right.
why send them to the people in the backyard, your backyard neighbors? You know what I'm saying? Like why not send him to the east or somewhere where you don't gotta deal with him? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna send him to the rivaling, team. You know what I'm saying? So it just really didn't make no sense. So that's why I feel like a favor was owed somewhere.
Mhm. Because Jay Kidd used to coach on the Lakers staff in
You know what
2020.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like,
So now all I can say is in the future, that's gonna be 4 losses.
mm. You
You
should have
play
seen
them
his face.
4 times a year.
Yeah,
That's gonna be 4 straight losses because that man is gonna go out every time to try to score 50 or more.
Now, I don't know if it'll be 4 straight losses because you gotta respect the game of Kyrie and you gotta respect the game of Anthony Davis. That's gonna be a nice little pick and roll situation with them two guys. You know what I'm saying?
I respect Kyrie and I respect AD. I respect both of them. But it's like at the same point in time, it's just like when you look at it, Kyrie now becomes the number one option again. So
Mhm.
now he's back to doing Kyrie. But the problem lies is where like Luka averaged 36 with Kyrie on his team.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
So you're not 80 is not averaging no 36.
mm,
He's not doing that. The Mavs are a good team, but they're not like okay. Yes, Clay is still there. Everybody else is still there, but it's like 80 gets now. He gets to go to the Mavs where he could play the floor because they got Lively and Gafford, and that's what he wanted to go back to playing the four where they could play the five. But it's just like yes, they're going to be a good team. I'm not saying they're not going to be a good team, but I know that man, Luka. Listen, he killed his teammates in practice. So, and that's sometimes he's barely trying, half-assing around in practice. And you tell me a game where he didn't think he was going to be traded either?
right.
I don't believe he thought he was going to be traded.
He's
And
gonna
they
bust
say he
your
did a
ass.
request for a trade.
Yeah,
He's
this
gonna
is
bust.
So,
an interesting matchup. I say amongst us three, we can definitely throw a little wager or something in there and see where eventually when that time comes. Because I think they play this month.
Sometime this month, I'll have
sometimes,
to look at the
oh, he
schedule
gonna play
again.
this month.
Hey, but even more insane. The remember how we was just speaking on NBA ratings?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
Yep.
yeah, nah. I say that trade definitely
That,
skyrocketed the rating.
Yep.
that was the move. That was the move that brought the
Mhm.
ratings back to
Mhm.
what it. And we was talking about this how Super Bowl time. You know what I'm saying? After Super Bowl, basketball ratings are gonna go up again.
Right,
People started to panic. You know what I'm saying? And nobody jumped ship. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
then All-Star break rolling around, which I
Mhm,
think they should make some adjustments with that. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
We was talking about we'd like to see some one-on-ones and things of that sort.
mhm.
But all of this stuff, it's like we're right on par. You know what I'm saying? We see we are future tellers, Soko family. We see what's going on over here.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. From the Jimmy situation to the Luca and Anthony Davis. I don't know who's dealt next. I kind of think I would like to see Zion go somewhere else.
Mm.
Ooh, talk about Zion. What are some possible destinations?
I say anywhere where it ain't a bunch of boudin rice.
Mhm.
I can see him going to like a big market team,
New
like a
York.
Sometimes
major market.
New York.
I don't see him going to no small market team. Mm.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well,
Um,
shoot. I'm
one
got
last thing. One last thing before we go, I do want to talk about the WNBA. Just in case, just letting you know, I'm not a casual, so I just want to give just a quick, just a quick free agency news. Last week a three-team trade happened between the Aces, um, the Sparks, and the Storms. Kelsey Plum is officially a Los Angeles Spark. Jewel Lloyd is heading to Vegas to join to join forces with Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young. And the Storms end up getting the in number two pick in this year's draft. Also, too, this past week, a 14 trade just happened. The Wings, the Phoenix Mercury, Connecticut Suns, Indiana Fever. For the Mercury, Satu Sabali, Kalani Brown, Alicia Thomas are officially Phoenix Mercuries. The Wings got Dejanay Carrington, Ty Harris, Smith, a second round pick and a third round pick. The Suns got Rebecca Allen, Natasha Cloud, and the number 8 pick in this year's draft. And the Fevers got Jalen Brown, Sophie Cunningham, and
man.
the number 19 pick
Man,
in
they
this
making
year's
some
draft.
moves out there in that WNBA.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I definitely got to do some more supporting because I know a couple players. I got a couple females that I like watching. But yeah, I definitely got to tune into more games.
mm,
So, we'll make it our mission. You know what I'm saying? To
yeah,
definitely some more games and highlight. You know what I'm saying? Some female hoopers. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to the W, man. All I know is Asia Wilson. She like that. Really
Yes.
like that.
Damn.
Hey man, watch out for the Fevers. That's all I have to say. I'm a big Liberty fan, but watch out for the Fevers. The Fevers will be a top 3 team this season.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. They gel really well after All Star break last year, where Caitlin got time to play
Yeah.
with her teammates, like practice and stuff like that, and she got used to the W competition. But I think, of course, the Fever is going to be good this year because, like, now Caitlin is not the hunted anymore.
You're right.
She's in the W. Everybody accepts her now. Well, pretty much everybody in the W accepts her, even though she's not the only one that's bringing revenue into the W. Yes, she's
Absolutely.
the majority part, but you have to look at your Camila Cardosas. You have to look at the Angel Reeses. You have to look at, the other girls coming from college, Paige Buckner. You have to
Yeah,
look
Paige, Paige Buckner.
at you have
Paige,
to look at,
Paige.
that MJ coming up, Juju, that MJ.
Juju.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah, she's like that. She's like that.
So, I just see that, the W's going in a good direction. Dejanay is she's like a Pat Bev,
Hound on defense.
yeah, listen, defense amazing. So, the W is looking good, just need to, tweak a little things, but they doing good out there.
Yeah, man.
Indeed. Well, that concludes our episode. Thank you, Soco fam. And we'll be back again next week.
Yep. Talk to you soon. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ciao.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
Wait, no,
You are now watching Soca Vibes Sports Podcast.